My introduction to gaming was turn-based combat. I think it was for many of us. I owe some of my best gaming memories to Pokémon Red version on the Game Boy Color. Some of my favorite games are turn-based. Golden Sun, Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, many iterations of the aforementioned Pokémon franchise. These are all bangers. But this year, a little game from new kid on the block, Sandfall Interactive, has really stirred things up in what some people are calling Game of the Decade. I played it, it's very good, and it is turn-based. So yes, today we are talking about the absurdly good turn-based combat. Today, we're talking about the amazing turn-based combat. Today, we're talking about the really good turn-based combat. We've come a long way from Pallet Town and Professor Oak. Now we've got ray tracing, Unreal Engine 5, gaming budgets in the hundreds of millions, evil corporations. Gamers, meanwhile, have come to expect these massive immersive worlds that feature engaging gameplay that tends to be pretty fast-paced. Our TikTok-rotted brains don't really want to just wait our turn in combat anymore. Games are an art, but they're also a business, and in today's market, a traditional turn-based game is kind of a tough sell for a broader audience. I think that's at least in part why you see fewer and fewer AAA, AA turn-based titles these days. Which is exactly why Expedition 33 stands out. It is a modern turn-based masterpiece. And we gotta talk about it. Hey everyone, so my footage for Expedition 33 actually got corrupted, so all the raw footage you see that I used to make this video is from MK Ice and Fire's YouTube channel. Great channel, high quality playthroughs. You may see a watermark in the bottom right. That's what it is. All right, enjoy the video. The combat of Expedition 33 just feels really good. Even what should be mundane moments are entertaining, satisfying, and surprisingly fluid. A lot of that, I think, comes down to pacing. In a turn-based game, pacing can be the dagger in an otherwise well-crafted experience. If a battle drags on or starts to feel like a chore or a burden, you're gonna lose the casual gamer. Expedition is the opposite of a chore. It keeps you engaged with the little things. The combat menu design does a lot of real work here. Not unlike some other prominent RPGs, the game assigns buttons to menu options instead of relying on traditional joystick or D-pad navigation. Once you've committed your moveset to muscle memory, you can fly through the menus. As you flip through options, the camera pans around the battlefield, adding a cinematic flair before you've even chosen an action. It's oddly satisfying just to explore the menu and plot your next move. And when you lock in that move, that's when the magic really happens. Every attack comes with unique, stylish animations and dynamic camera work. And then there are the parries. Pulling off a tricky parry doesn't just reward you with damage, it also triggers an epic animation that I swear never gets old. In fact, all the moves have these subtle speed ramps and slick camera moves that add a sense of spectacle to what could have easily become very repetitive actions. On the flip side, enemy attacks can be just as spectacular. Mobs and bosses alike unleash perilous combos that deal serious damage, and the game frames them with that same slick camera work and cinematic timing that you see in your own moveset. They wind up, telegraph, and deliver these nasty, bone-crunching blows. The back and forth is pure eye candy. It's really something to behold. From a bird's eye view, the gameplay loop is really not that complicated. You walk around, encounter an enemy, you beat them, get some loot, walk around, enemy, beat them, loot. You get the picture. What makes this simple formula work, in my opinion, is the sense of progression that the game features. And I'm not so much talking about the progression of your character builds and your skill trees, etc. That stuff is super well built out and it definitely matters. But I'm really talking about the progression of you yourself as a player of the game. Expedition 33 relies heavily on your ability to parry and dodge enemy attacks. So no matter how stacked your build is, you're gonna have a challenging time beating especially some of these like optional tricky bosses. But actually, like, it feels like in a lot of instances, the game sort of expects you to lose your first few encounters with a new enemy type. It takes time to sort of read those attack patterns and remember those enemy cues and figure out really how to best parry and dodge some of these moves. But when you get it, you've got it, and it is very satisfying. And while all this amazing shit is unfolding right in front of you, the game is still delivering an enthralling, gripping narrative, both in and out of combat. Now, before we get into all that, I think I need to give you guys fair warning. There's probably going to be minor spoilers in the next section. I'm going to try to keep it as light as I can, but if you're looking for a fresh, untainted playthrough of Expedition 33, now is probably your moment to bail. But everyone else, stick around, let's chat. One of my favorite characteristics about this game is that it uses combat as a vehicle to tell a story. Here, let me show you what I mean. In your second encounter with Renoir, Gustav is hanging on with just 1 HP, doing everything he can to even so much as scratch Renoir. No matter how many times you hit him, no matter what abilities you use, you're pretty much powerless. Gustav is powerless, but you yourself as a player are also powerless, and you feel that because you're playing through that moment in the story. It's not just dumped to you in a cutscene, which, by the way, probably would have been fine. Like, a lot of games do that, and it's no problem. But I really feel like this added that extra cinematic sugar on top. Other fights weave in dramatic dialogue between turns and feature these really incredible set pieces. And let me, just for a second, I got a fanboy about the set pieces in this game. Like, some of these cinematics are so sick. Like, look at this one. What was that? When I saw that, I paused the game, I went to YouTube, searched like duelist boss ending scene cinematic, and just like watched that back like 4 or 5 times straight. Cause epic is a simple word to describe it, but I don't know how else to characterize it, because it was like just such an awesome moment to behold. So anyways, boss encounters, they're sort of built like these multi-act plays, ramping up in intensity and story as they unveil ultimate abilities with insane visual and cinematic flair. It's such a treat. These cinematic crescendos embedded inside the combat are some of my favorite moments throughout the entire playthrough. A lot of the most potent narrative beats unfold within combat. The conclusion of the final act after you beat the final boss plays out largely in a combat scenario. And I don't really want to get into the details of all that because pretty much no matter how you slice it, it's just a massive spoiler. But I'll just say that it is some of the best storytelling I have ever experienced in a game. And I've played a lot of games. I could ramble on about this game forever. I mean, the amount of optional content is kind of ridiculous. The skill tree is sick. The characters are really, really compelling and convincing. I'm really not even scratching the surface with how much amazing stuff went into this game. You owe it to yourself to pick this one up. Give it a try. 2025 has blessed us gamers with this one, I promise you. Anyways, this is a new channel, so I appreciate you stopping by. I like video games a lot. I also like writing essays, so this felt like a pretty good fit, I guess. But yeah, give me some feedback in the comments. Let me know what other games you want me to talk about, and I hope to see you guys really soon.